Hola, prazer em conhecer, parabéns. Hello, nice to greet you and salutations and congratulations for whatever karmic path you have walked to get to this point. So, what is this point? I usually refrain from listing my credentials. I have done in the past because I have had a focus, I shall say, and sometimes maybe too much value given to humility. I find arrogance distasteful. I feel it's in poor taste to describe oneself as wise or intelligent, and that action should speak louder than words, and that you should let other people sing your praises for you. However, not everybody feels that way. The previous president of the United States was always singing his own praises, and a lot of people seem to have appreciated that. Rappers and MCs are often telling people how good they are, and people tend to consider those who declared themselves the best, Biggie and Lil Wayne come to mind, as the best. And you don't get a job without telling them your CV. And there's a paradoxical irony to how arrogant it is to want to be the most humble. So having said all that, back to the initial point. What is this point you've got to? You've got to this point where this guy, who, much like others, has studied spiritual texts for decades. I read the Tao Te Ching when I was 12. And when I was 40, it emigrated with me because it's still one of my favourite texts. When I was 18, I read the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, which is not the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and the Tibetan Book of the Dead is likely, if the Esoteric BookClub continues for a while, it's likely to join the list, because I don't just want to read books that I've read before. I intend to learn with you. So speaking of which, I read the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying when I was 18, and it's based on Dzogchen Buddhism, and Dzogchen Buddhism has in many ways continued to be a part of my life, sometimes not by choice. I was in one of the first in England to be introduced to the Balanced View training, which at the time was called the Great Freedom Training, which, what was that, 2007? I think about 10 years later, approximately 10 years later, was revealed to be based on Dzogchen teachings, which I intuited or deduced 10 years prior, but they never admitted it at the time. I believe Rinpoche Candice was told by her teacher not to tell people that it was Dzogchen Buddhism. So my suspicions were not confirmed when I inquired about it early. Having said all that, Dzogchen Buddhism continues to be one of my favourite forms, and I have 3 books on Dzogchen Buddhism, 2 by Namkhai Norbu, one by Karma Chagmi and Gyatro Rinpoche together. So yes, all, I believe, the ones that I have with me were recommended by Lama Lena. This is The Cycle of Day and Night by Namkhai Norbu. This is Naked Awareness by Karma Chagmi, Gyatro Rinpoche and Alan Wallace. And this is Dream Yoga. I've not read any of those. I've read the beginnings of all 3. So I will be learning with you. It won't be a hierarchical Kev knows everything situation if and when we delve into any of those 3. I have more books with me, but these are the ones that I'm willing to approach the Esoteric Book Club with. And this one I have read back to front. The Field by Lynn McTaggart. It's one of my favourites. It basically categorically covers the gap between science and spirituality. It reaffirms many of our suspicions about the quantum effect, and it talks about it from a scientific perspective. Lynn McTaggart is a medical doctor and an award-winning journalist and author. So she might not be a medical doctor. She was the editor and co-founder of What Doctors Don't Tell You. But I'll read about it just from the back. During the past few decades, science has begun to prove what ancient myth and religion has always espoused, that there may be such a thing as a life force. Frontier scientists all over the globe have produced extraordinary evidence to show that an energy field, the 0 point field, connects everything in the universe, and we ourselves are part of this vast dynamic cobweb of energy exchange. Lynn McTaggart's book is a highly readable scientific detective story which reveals how the field is responsible for many of the most profound human mysteries, from alternative medicine and spiritual healing to extrasensory perception and the collective unconscious. Sometimes when spiritual things happened in my life, when I sensed something, I wasn't sure if it was my imagination or not. And this book helped strengthen my faith in the cosmic and spiritual, because it gave a scientific, logical explanation for why I might sense things that were outside of my normal perception. And by normal perception, I mean the 5 known senses. So, what happens next depends partly on you guys. Which books are you most interested in exploring? If there's an overwhelming desire for me to do book readings and followed by Zoom discussions, that's kind of the plan. I'll do a book reading and then we have a Zoom discussion about the extract that I've read. Um, so yeah, which texts are you most interested in exploring? There are two more that I'm... Oh, yeah, there are two more that I'm thinking about doing, but the fact that I can't find one of them now does seem to indicate that the universe wants me to hold fire on that just briefly. But yeah, I will speak about it just briefly. The other two are even more esoteric. One is the Rosicrucian Handbook. Now, the Rosicrucians are a secret society that I am not a member of. By some synchronous happenstance, this book, the Rosicrucian Handbook, was handed to me in a squat I used to live in. And they assumed, because I'm interested in that sort of thing, that the book was mine. I was honest, said it's not mine, but I will take guardianship of it until the owner turns up. And the owner never turned up. So I can only conclude that the universe wanted me to be aware of Rosicrucian wisdom and or information without becoming a member of their secret society. I now offer that to you, because I can read extracts of that as well. Also, the CIA's declassified files on the gateway technique, which is a meditation that the CIA used to enhance the potential of their agents. That is online, anybody can read it. And that, much like Lynn McTaggart's book, confirms the gaps between science and spirituality. I've not read it all. I've read the introduction and I've listened to a reading of the meditation that they do. And just in the introduction and first few pages, it speaks about uniting both hemispheres of the brain, the left logical and the right intuitive, creative. And it also talks about quantum theory and the holographic universe theory, which is that we are co-creating this universe with our thoughts. And yeah, that's the CIA for all you skeptics out there. And the CIA are not known for messing around, unless, you're talking about them hiring brothels and prostitutes to drug unsuspecting citizens with LSD in a failed attempt to find a mind control drug. No, they don't mess around, unless, of course, you're talking about importing crack cocaine. But we're not here to discuss the crimes and villainy of the CIA. We are here to discuss esoteric books. Those are historical facts, by the way. They're not C-word theories. They are historical facts. Google it. So yeah, I will have access to the internet for limited times, but during those times, the other residents are likely to be in close vicinity. So I might do the book club discussions live, but I intend to pre-record the book readings in privacy. So yeah, I'm going to upload this to both Facebook and YouTube and await feedback in the comments of both and either. Immense love and immense gratitude. Infinite love. Infinite gratitude. Bon dia, or in the words of Kai Pacha, Namaste, aloha, so much love. Breathing deep into my belly. Breathing love into my lower chest. Breathing love into my upper chest. Relaxing as the entire universe. Exhaling as the entire. I am the entire universe, sending love to this being, sending love to the entire universe. We are the entire universe, sending love to this planet, sending love to the entire universe. Inner peace leads to world peace. Om.